do in the classroom, but what do they do after school? Well, a ninth grade girl and her mother were kind enough to invite me into their homes so that I could better understand how they spend their free time and their parents' perspectives on their children's work. Yeah. So you come home, how much homework do you typically have to do?
We don't have that much.
You don't have that much homework?
Yeah.
And you're in ninth grade?
Yeah.
So do you expect when you go to upper secondary you'll have more homework? Do you hear from students there?
Yes.
Yeah. How much? So how much do you do now? Do you do some every day or not even every day?
No. Not even every day.
Not even every day. And so how many hours a week would you say? 3 hours a week? 3 or 4 hours a week?
Yeah, but...
Finnish education system, way outperforming every other country. How do you understand that as both a teacher and a parent?
A big part of it is that we take care of those children that are not doing so well at school. So we have got very qualified special education.
Early interventions, we hear.
Yes, we try to find out what's the problem behind the learning problems, because often it's something that we can avoid by teaching in different way.
So here is our class. So we had a theme day in school.
What was the theme?
We are mafia family.
I kind of guessed.
Yeah.
So also homework. I'm not concerned about that at all. I've always known that they do their homework. I never check if they do
You don't have to check. You don't.
No.
Do you even ask what's your homework, or how much homework do you have this week?
No. Sometimes when I try to be a good mom.
I had a chance to visit some schools while I was in Finland. The Sippo school was especially interesting. We spent some time in elementary classes, but then we went over to the high school. Now, high school there is grades 10 through 12, and what is particularly interesting about what they call their upper secondary is that students have a choice between a more academic track or a vocational track. About 40%, 45% choose the non-academic technical track, because they know that's going to prepare them for a good job right out of high school. There's a respect and a dignity about all work in Finland, and what matters most is the skillfulness and intelligence you bring to whatever job you may have.
A long time ago I went to the technical university and I studied electrical engineering and electronics. And after that I have been working at different companies for 30 years. I wanted to decrease the stress level because I was a technical director in a company, and this is how I did it. I started to teach something I have learned. One big finding was that experts don't know how people learn, because there are many different understandings. So I'm trying to understand how it really happens in practice. So, yeah. What I like in teaching is many things. This is demanding, a lot of challenges. You can see the results. You have long summer vacations. What else you need? In practice, all students here may also select courses from the academic side. It's possible also in the opposite way, even though not many are doing that.
Directly after basic education, young Finns go to about 45% go to vocational education and training. About 50% go to upper secondary general schools. The balance between vocational education and training sector and upper secondary general sector is very good for Finland, and we set a policy target a decade ago for us that we should actually have more balanced situation in Finland. Reasons behind it: there must be actually developments of vocational education and training sector. However, there isn't any dead ends nowadays. We have actually made our education system so flexible that actually you can continue studies after vocational education and training at universities or you can actually come back to general education if you want to. So it's very open nowadays.
In American schools, technology is primarily introduced as an aid for the teacher's presentations, whiteboards, PowerPoints, and so on. But in Finland, the emphasis is much more on the students using the technology for their learning. How long have you been teaching here in the upper secondary?
26 years.
Oh, just starting then?
Yeah, in that same school.
Yes?
26 years.
That's
yes.
a long time.
Yeah.
So have you seen much difference in the students? Are they different to teach now than when you started?
I think students are almost the same, but relationship between students and teachers are better nowadays.
In what ways?
We are working together more and more.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
We just had a nice 25-minute lunch in the school cafeteria, but you told me your class started 25 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You mean you trust them to work on their own?
Yeah. I trust them to work alone, and they have, deadlines.
Yeah.
Then what they have to do, and they have this learning environment, Moodle, and they make maps there. And
So tell us about Moodle.
Moodle is a learning environment, and you can put all kind of material, and you can discuss, and you can evaluate with Moodle. Learning is something to use cultural tools, all kind of tools. If you have a lot of tools, you can learn even more. And
So it's like an online learning environment.
it's online learning environment.
Where they are sharing projects with one
Sharing,
another?
yes. Everything
where
is shared, yes.
Everything is shared. They're
Yes.
working on projects together
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
You're giving them lectures online that they can access?
Not lectures.
But you give them problems or challenges
Yeah.
that they have to solve.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the class we're just going to go see.
It is, I think there are some 20 students.
And what are they going to be working on?
They are working kind of geography study about African countries.
Okay. Hannah, can you tell me what you're working on, please?
I'm searching some information about African land Togo, which is this.
How much time do you have to work on this project?
About 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Just to work on this project?
Yes.
And you're working alone for 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Is that hard?
Well, I don't think so. It's actually, I kind of enjoy this. I think this is quite fun.
I have to do something in every year.
Category?
Yes.
Here working on Zimbabwe's nature map, and I have to make one map on paper and one map in internet.
Oh, I see. So you're also having to write here some answers that the rest of the class will see that will be shared from the software. And other students will comment on your work?
Yes.
Do you find this useful? Would you rather be reading a textbook and taking
I
tests?
think this is quite a good way to learn.
Use more of your own creativity, your own thinking, and your own ideas about how to create an effective mind map?
Yeah, exactly.
Niin, tuohon linkkiin sun pitäisi kopioida se sieltä sivun otsikko vielä.
Tää kokonaan.
Joo. Eli se, ja sit se laitetaan siihen kopioi liitä. Ja sit OK. Ja nyt kun sä meet sinne Moodleen ja painat tallennan, niin se tulee. We are studying business marketing. So at this moment we are studying the social media marketing, which is a quite new area. You know, no one knows where the marketing in social media is going. So students are actually in the Facebook, which they love, trying to find out different kind of articles, especially about Facebook and marketing. They are using Wikipedia. It's quite interesting because when you see something new is growing, so you need to go right to it and to see where it's going to.
Innovation and entrepreneurship education came into our curricula 15 years ago approximately. It should be included in every teaching and every subject.
What does it mean to educate an entire country to develop the capacities for innovation? Finland is among the top 5 countries in innovation, global competitiveness, and entrepreneurship. But yet this country is now asking what I would say are some of the post-industrial questions. If education is to be something that maybe is for its own sake, to develop curiosity, to develop imagination, to develop social bonding and networks, what does that mean that we might need to do differently? How do we free up time and space for more exploratory learning, not just transmitting information, but giving young people chances to explore, to experiment, and to create new knowledge and new information?
I was 16 when I started my company. We have 3 full-timers, like I am. So we go to school, but when we are out of school, then we do some jobs and marketing and such. It specializes in making home computers, and mostly we do gaming computers for kids like us. We know what we want, and that's what we do. So this is actually the main site. As you can see, there came my friend, and he is eating a motherboard. It's so easy. I can't lose any money, but I can make money if I work hard. Well, if it can provide us when we are graduating and don't get any better jobs, then it's good that we have somewhere to work.
You know, by luck, I stumbled on this student project in one of the schools where students were learning about innovation and entrepreneurship by forming teams that had to produce a new product or service overnight, quite literally. They were spending the night in schools with their teams and with adult chaperones, learning the skills of innovation and entrepreneurship. You know, it's a very rare school in our country that teaches anything like that. We have some schools that do an extraordinary job of giving all students a work-based internship. Some schools that enable students to do what we call service learning, community service. But I think in Finland, these things are far more common, whereas in our country, they are the exception to the rule. Tell us a little bit about this innovation camp. What is it about?
Well, it's about what is called entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're here to, how do I say this? Well, people are coming here. We are forming groups, 5, 6, 7 people about in a group, and they're going to start a business here.
Is it true you're going to be here all night long?
Yes, 24 hours, 26.
26 hours?
Yes.
What is the point of being here all night long?
It exhausts you to a limit where you
really got to push it to the limit, yeah. Well, if you hang around for 24 hours with the same people over here, well, you learn to know the people that you're working with, so you get better teamwork.
Teamwork, of course. Yeah. And think more freely, not so...
More open-minded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you have to be really social in these things. Really. It's not that obvious for everyone. So, well, people may think that you can, well, I can make a company of my own and I can do it all by myself. I don't need any help. That's not true. You learn it here.
Back in the 1970s, Finland realized it really could leave no child behind because every child was needed to be a part of the greater wealth of the country. So what have you done? You said you've been kind of creating your education system from scratch since the 1970s. What are its hallmarks?
To be frank, we didn't start totally from scratch, but actually we formed comprehensive school in Finland during 1970s.
The comprehensive school is intended for all, not segregating the age group. The parallel system refers to the system that is still present in Germany, for example, in the 5 first years during your education, at the age of 11, that they tell that you're a poor performing student. You're never going to end up